Joining me now is our friend, the ranking member of the House Oversight Committee, California Congressman Robert Garcia. Always good to have you here. So let's talk about what Democrats are threatening, which is to block DHS funding when it expires Friday, unless the bill contains ICE reforms, such as judicial warrants for arrests, banning masks, and stricter use of force standards. They're just basic standards, bringing federal officers in line with other law enforcement agencies, like even police, right? So Senate Republicans called Democrats' demands unrealistic. Will you vote no on any DHS funding package that doesn't include these provisions and might risk shutting down DHS?
I mean, first, I've been already voting no. I voted no in the House multiple times for funding a single penny more to ICE and certainly to DHS, what they're doing in terrorizing our communities. They're murdering American citizens. They're detaining children and throwing them into these horrific camps and detention centers. And so, no, I will continue to vote no. Personally, I don't believe that the Senate and the demands that have been put in place go far enough. ICE, particularly as an agency, cannot continue to exist. It is terrorizing and causing major harm to not just Minneapolis, but cities across the United States. Look, what's been proposed, in my opinion, is a bare minimum. The idea that you have agents and DHS folks out there that are masked, that are without body cameras, without proper training, that are out there really causing more harm. They're the ones terrorizing communities right now. And so I think that the Senate needs to be strong in these negotiations. They certainly shouldn't count on House Democrats, and certainly many of us that have come out strong against DHS and ICE for our votes. We should not give them a single penny more.
You co-led that Capitol Hill Forum Tuesday on the impact of the administration's aggressive immigration enforcement. Not a single Republican attended. We heard from the two brothers of Renee Good, and that hearing also highlighted the story of Marimar Martinez, who was shot several times by an immigration agent in Chicago back in October. The agent claims Martinez drove her car directly at officers before the shots were fired, which she and witnesses refute. And you shared some of the text the agent wrote after the shooting. Let's watch this.
This is not just a bad day or...
I fired 5 rounds and she had 7 holes. Put that in your book, boys. Oh, well, it is what it is. Happens. This is someone that works for the United States government. I fired 5 rounds and she had 7 holes. Now, he was talking about you, and it's our understanding that he was actually bragging about his aim shooting an unarmed American citizen. Is that right?
Correct.
What should the public take away from her story?
I mean, first, I was so angry. I hope people are angry. I hope they're disgusted. I hope they're calling for changes in this country, that are protesting out in the streets. I mean, this is what happened to Miss Martinez, to Miss Rahman, to so many others that we've heard from, are essentially our government attacking U.S. citizens, people that were not in the way, that were not causing harm, that were not disrupting in any sort of way what was happening with these agents. And so that young woman was shot multiple times. She has permanently been scarred and disfigured, as she shared with us. You now then have agents bragging about how many times they shot her, calling her horrible names. And those texts were just some of the texts that were sent. And we also know then that they label these people, as we heard from our witnesses, domestic terrorists. And so this idea that we should be funding these agencies and we should be providing additional dollars, give me a break, not one penny more. And Kristi Noem needs to be impeached. Donald Trump should be remembered in history as the worst president in the history of this country. And we've got to continue to stand up against these horrific crimes.
I can feel your outrage. I know you're going to continue doing so. Let me ask about the Oversight Committee, which will be deposing Epstein associate Ghislaine Maxwell Monday in a closed-door virtual session. And Maxwell's attorneys have said she's going to invoke the Fifth Amendment and decline to answer questions. First of all, will you be taking part in her deposition? And are you certain there's more evidence to disclose implicating co-conspirators in Epstein's abuse of women and girls?
One, I will be participating, of course, in the deposition. I think it's really unfortunate that Ms. Maxwell is going to choose to not answer any questions. We have a lot of questions. Let's start at the very top. Is she aware of or has any evidence of whether it's President Trump or other men that have been involved at all and can either refute or can bring more closure to some of the horrific claims that we've seen in the Epstein files? The other powerful men, whether it's been those that we've already heard of in the files or men that have yet to be named because Donald Trump's Department of Justice won't name the co-conspirators and the men that raped and abused girls. What does she know about them? We have questions as to who actually ordered her move. Why is she now at a cushy facility? Who ordered her move? And who are the mysterious people that are showing up, having interviews and conversations with her? What does she know about Jeffrey Epstein's suicide? Or there are a lot of new questions about that incident. What does she know about the powerful men and where would the money come from? So we have a lot of questions that she needs to answer, and whether we get those answers from her or through other sources. I have said this and I'll continue to say this. Donald Trump and Pam Bondi want this investigation to be over. They have closed the book. They've announced a few days ago that this is over. My message to them is we are just getting started.
I'm sure they hear that loud and clear quite often, in fact. Congressman Robert Garcia, always good to hear from you. Thank you.